Nintendo.exe is a horror game created by the developer Randy Becker, and it was released on March 24th, 2017. I personally believe this is one of the better old .exe titles out there. What I firstly think makes this one so interesting is the concept it plays off of. A lot of .exe games typically only go based off of one specific game, or maybe have a theme around that franchise. However, what Nintendo.exe does is play off the whole demo disc concept. For those unaware, demo discs were popular around the PS1 and PS2 era. The idea being that you would receive a new disc in a magazine each month that contained a few game demos and some extras like trailers or cheat codes. However, this game tweaks and messes with the idea a little bit. Instead, this is a Nintendo demo cartridge, with this specific version being for developers. If you want my guess, I assume if something like this existed, it would have been in kiosks, with this specific version being tested and not meant to be distributed elsewhere. Nintendo wasn't really interested in demo discs, instead of preferring to send out promotional VHS tapes like I've mentioned before. They do have a history with kiosk demos though. So I think this game plays off of a super neat concept. Instead of just the spirit haunting a game, it's a look into an alternative universe in some way. However, granted, it's a .exe game, so you know things aren't normal. When we get to the menu itself, it shows 4 different games to choose from: Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Kirby's Avalanche, and A Link to the Past. Something to note about this menu is that as you go throughout the game, it will get more messed up. Starting off a bit foggy, and at the end there is this creature stalking you. I'm not entirely sure what this is, but it's kinda weird, not gonna lie. All the games themselves are also not normal. In .exe tradition, they are bizarre, disconfigured, corrupted versions of these classic games. Also, once you play them once, they cannot be replayed. They also have a certain symbolism. Help me. So, let's talk about them. The games can be played in any order, but I'm gonna go left to right, up to down. The first game is Super Mario World. When you load into this one, it will put you in the unused test map, which is indeed a real thing. It is simply the word test made out of brick blocks. And yes, in the original the background is also that glitchy, however it isn't exactly the same. Your moveset is limited to walking and jumping. You also have no UI here, and every few seconds the game freezes due to a glitch. Jumping into the pit at the right moves into a bloodier and darker version of the map. And now the text has been replaced with the same phrase we saw before. Help me. Jump down the pit again and you'll be in the black box for a few seconds, until you get crushed to death. The next game on the list is Super Metroid. This one might be my favorite of the bunch, both in this haunted game and in the Super Nintendo library in general. The environment for this one is one long winding cave, and Samus has to slowly walk through it with only this ability. Yet again, things aren't exactly the same. The UI at the top has been completely removed and replaced with a simple health bar. Also, this blue door at the start isn't normal. Usually in Super Metroid, shooting a blue door with this gun opens it. However, here it cannot be opened. Yet again, as we walk by, we see the same "help me" text again. You eventually start running into Metroid, and as you struggle to fight them, they exponentially increase until you're left with 1 HP. And then you get one shot by a bigger one. The third game is Kirby's Avalanche. I would argue this is the odd one out of all these. Kirby's Avalanche released in 1995, which doesn't at all make sense for it to be the 1992 demo cartridge. You could argue it's gone through development hell, but for a reskin of Puyo Puyo, I highly doubt it. The game in the most normal state has Kirby depressingly looking at the other side as it plays 1 Puyo at a time slowly. For context, in normal Puyo Puyo, you put down 2 at a time. Just like the others, things get weird quickly. The background turns into a haunted graveyard and Kirby eventually turns into a Shy Guy. Yet again, the phrase "help me" is here. As you keep playing, Kirby looks more and more at you. I usually don't like jump scares too much, but I have to admit the setup to the ones in this game are mostly fine, so I'm okay with it. The last game here is A Link to the Past, and this one isn't trying to hide itself. Right as you start, things are clearly wrong. Truth be told, I never got too far into Link to the Past, so I'm not sure if this is an actual location in the game or not, but I don't need to know that this is off. Link looks like a depressing sack of blood. Movement speed is also very slow, and the environment is very dark. As far as I can tell, this is the only one without any help me symbolism in it. It breaks tradition, but given the fact this is a game people would usually play before a finale, it kinda makes sense. The game ends with a brief cutscene, containing that same heavy breathing we heard in the menu alongside a disturbing image. An image of a girl with the text, "Help me." If you try to replay the game from now on, this is the only thing that happens, which for what it's worth does make sense. It is a haunted cartridge. So, what is the deal with the whole "help me" text? Well, the popular theory is that the girl we see in the final scene is whose soul is stuck inside the demo cartridge. So, yes indeed, this game still has that .exe trope in there. Granted, I think this was more interesting in a way. Not only in a concept, but it feels like throughout the games the girl is actually trying to communicate to you. Hence the entire "help me" message. Now, let's be real here. The game's definitely dated, it has that .exe cliche to it. But for its time, it's definitely one of the better ones. It makes you wonder what happened. Did someone transmute this girl's soul to the cartridge? That is for my Full Metal Alchemist fans out here. Alright, thank you guys for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to check out the rest of my channel and leave a comment down below. It won't hurt. With that being said, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys next time.